Alright, what's up guys? It's Dribble with Kodak Rage. Today I have a good friend of mine, Cody. He is also an affiliate on Twitch, kicking ass just like Scarlett, my last interview prior. Cody, how are you, dude?
I'm doing good. About you?
I'm pretty peachy, man. Finally, not at work. So I will put all your Twitch stuff underneath the video, just like
Sounds
I did.
good, but appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Just like I did with Miss Scarlett. So just like I said before the video started, man, I just have a couple of questions for you. A lot of them I know already the answers to, but I'd really like to hear your expanding on it. So, my phone's still loud. Anyway, all right, man. Where were you born at, man?
I was actually born in Lexington, Kentucky, around, it was 1997 where I'm 22 years old. And I lived there for a couple years. And basically, I've moved around a lot as a kid. So basically, I lived in an apartment in Lexington for about 2-3 years till I was about 2-3 years old. Ended up moving to Knoxville. But basically, I moved out of the apartment. We moved to, I think, man, we've moved so many fucking places. It's unreal, man.
Yeah, I was lucky. I only moved from Jersey to here. That was it.
Dude, I've been all over, dude. It was from Lexington, and then we used to live at my mama's house back in Knott County. That was a short-term thing. That was actually after my sister was born, because when I used to live in Sevierville before that for a couple years, so I kind of knew the area to Tennessee before I moved to Kentucky after I was born there. So none of the Medicare or Medicaid, whatever they call it, back what the health insurance was back then, would accept my mom to give birth to my sister Ashley, which you know who she is.
Oh yeah.
She was actually born in Hazard. She was born in Kentucky as well, and then we were just like, well, nobody's going to accept my mom. Nobody knows what's wrong with her, so they just took her to the hospital, and she gave birth to Ashley. And then after that, I lived in Powell County for, God knows, 16 years up in a holler is what they call it.
Really? Where was that at?
It was basically in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of like hills.
Really?
There was no internet. Yeah, there was no internet. I had satellite internet around 6th, 7th grade. I never got to play any multiplayer games. Only time I ever went to go play any multiplayer games or anything like that is when I went to my mama's house, because they actually cheated their internet. They would hook up this Ethernet cable to my cousin's house and actually do their shit from there, and they would bounce each other's internet off like that, because AT&T in my area didn't exist then, and there was no internet to be around. So you had that. I had satellite internet, which is awful.
Yeah,
it's
very awful.
You do not want it. I do not recommend it. It's called HughesNet. Don't go into it, because once you're in a contract with them, you have to either pay the remaining monthly things by the end of, kind of like a phone contract. Like you take your phone in, you have to pay the remaining of what you owed and shit like that. It was annoying as shit. And fun fact, after I moved here, they had high-speed internet available in that area after I left. So,
oh wow.
So I waited 15 years, and I never got the internet, and I finally actually got it here when I was around. But yeah, originally from Kentucky. I kind of consider myself Tennessean, basically, because I didn't live in Lexington very long.
Right.
But I know most of this area. I basically been here my entire life, coming here for vacation.
Wow. It's a good place to be. I mean, and then I know the answer to this one, but I really have to ask it just because, like, your previous comments, your previous answers, your favorite sports team and why.
Okay. I have a couple of them.
Well, pick your main favorites.
My main favorites?
Yeah.
Okay, for NFL, it's the Cincinnati Bengals, and yes, we are cursed. I have come to the conclusion, like, even when people at work that I work with, even currently where I work at, they're like, who are you a fan of, Cody? I'm like, the Bengals. They're like, ew, why would you watch somebody like that?
It's basically me with the Devils, man.
And I was like, dude, in Kentucky, we don't have any football teams. And it was just, we had the Kentucky Wildcats college football team, but they were ass. And my whole family and us, we just grew up just watching the Cincinnati Bengals play. And it's like that with baseball. We're big Cincinnati Reds fans.
Right.
We can't win a playoff game to save our life. It's the same way. Us fans, actually believe the Ohio River is actually fucking cursed.
I believe it.
Because we went for so many years without being in the playoffs. And then the first year we got there, we were actually on a monumental record season for all the shit that we were doing. We were going, like, we were the only remaining team, I think it was like in 2013 or 14, when we were like 10-0, 11-0, 12-0. And then our most hated rival, the Steelers, kind of, fucked that up for us, and then we started losing some games. We only lost 2 or 3 games, and we still got wild card. And here's the part that pisses me off the most, is guess which team it was that we had to face in the wild card round?
I'm guessing the Steelers.
The Pittsburgh Steelers. And the way the game ended is still controversial to this day, because one of their actually our linebacker, who no longer plays for the Bengals, now he plays for the Raiders, and now he got in constant trouble nonstop. He ended up hitting Antonio Brown, which I'm sure you probably know who that is.
Oh yeah, definitely. A lot of controversy with him too.
It wasn't really that big of a hit, and it looked like it was a helmet to helmet. And there was 4 seconds left, and he acted like he was hurt. Wow. He admitted in the very next day that he was not hurt, he was fine, the hit was not that bad.
Wow.
What ended up happening is when shit like that happened, they pushed, whenever you get a helmet-to-helmet contact that was unnecessary roughness or whatever, it was like a 15, 20-yard penalty. They were out of field goal range between those 15 yards. It was 4th down, and they failed the 4th down conversion, but the penalty happened. They kicked the field goal as soon as the time went out. Bengals were eliminated. Wow. The very next year after that, we were the Steelers wild card game again. And we lost by 3 again. So we've come to the conclusion that Ohio River's cursed. Same goes with the Reds. It's unreal. It doesn't work out very well.
I totally feel you. All right, so let's get into games. Are you okay with that?
That is perfectly fine.
All right, cool. We'll get away from personal stuff, and we'll get into gaming stuff. So, all right. So, when did you first get interested in gaming? Like, when did you start it? Like,
oh shit. This is actually really young for probably around, most people's ages. But I was starting to play video games. I played Call of Duty when I was like 2.
Oh, okay.
I started young, man. I had my dad had an Atari. We used to play Pong. I played Pong. I played Pitfall. I don't know if you know what Pitfall is.
I do not, but
it's a little pixelated game that you're like swinging around in the jungle and you got.
Oh yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that game was a gem. I played the hell out of that when I was a younger kid, and then once I started to get to about 5-6 years old, I had PlayStation 1s out the ass. Like every PlayStation 1 that I had broke, and we would just in order to keep me happy during that time, because I still wasn't in school yet. I was playing video games before I was even in elementary school. So I'm sitting here, I'm playing Crash Bandicoot, I'm playing fucking Spyro, I'm playing all this, and my PlayStations just kept dying and dying and dying, and then we're just like, you know what, screw it. I wanted a GameCube one year. That's when the fun began, because I ended up getting Turok, where I was probably 7, 8 years old, playing a fucking violent video game at my mama's house. All of it with like dismemberment with the aliens' heads coming off the legs, the blood spurting out, and my mom and him and my mama and the rest of them, they couldn't watch that because they would get sick. I'm sitting here, I'm like, I think this is fun as shit,
You're enjoying yourself.
I'm sitting here enjoying myself, and all of us, all my cousins and us, were all just playing split screen, just like a little LAN thing, just killing each other, just laughing our ass off because we sucked so bad. So that was a couple of them, but one of my, man, I can't tell you how many games I've played.
Well, here's a good one for you. What was your first game? What was it? Call of Duty? Was that like one of your first games that you played?
Yep, it was actually the very first Call of Duty. I have not missed a single COD game that's ever released.
Wow, that's phenomenal. Out of all the games that you've played from now to since Call of Duty 1, what is your all-time favorite?
Everybody's going to expect this, but man, it's Modern Warfare 2.
Modern Warfare 2. Such a fucking great game. No shit. I'm on your side with that. Such a good freaking game.
You can, man. I mean, throwing, like all the videos you used to see on YouTube, it's like the throwing knife that didn't kill.
Yeah.
tossing the fucking throwing knife over the the house and everything, and it bounced off the ground and it injured him, and he's like screaming, and there's this person just spinning in a circle because the faster you ran back then, you got Marathon Pro.
Yeah.
It was the perk and shit, the way you could sprint faster.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there just screaming his head off, and everyone's just sitting there. He's like, I'm just trying to get Marathon Pro, man. He's just sitting there just going in a circle like fucking fast.
All right,
And
so
that was great.
So you've been streaming how long now?
Oh, let's see, about 2 years, and I became an affiliate. Actually, already a year from now. I haven't got around to actually doing.
You came in like fire.
I did,
and you just fucking lit up and went, dude. I'm proud of you for that. So,
the way I wanted to view streaming is the inspirations that I had behind it. I was watching my buddies and them do it. I was on the Xbox One for a little bit. I never.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was like, I never wanted a PC. PC's not for me. I didn't really care for it. I was like, I would never get good with a mouse and keyboard. And so I was sitting there. I was watching my buddies and everything play it, and I was sitting there. I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to stream, so I'm going to get me a PC, and we're going to do this thing, because I watch my friends all the time. They were just like, man, you're good at games all the time. How come you never decided that you wanted to stream? Like, your personality with the way you talk to people and everything is all on par. You just got to figure out your branding, which I'm still trying to figure out.
Yeah. All in due time with that, man.
Yeah, it's all in good time. And the way I look at it now is I was doing it. I started out just like, any of them, like Dr. Disrespect, Tim the Tap Man, any of those people. They all started out with a friend just watching them because their friend wanted them to stream. And I had a buddy do the same thing. He was sitting there and he was just like, so my friend wants me to stream Borderlands 3. I'm like, that's where it all starts.
Yep.
Right then and there is when it all starts.
Definitely.
And so after that, I was actually not even before I hit affiliate. Actually, the way I hit affiliate was I think I had 100 followers in 2 days.
Yeah.
That I remember right. I didn't have a webcam. I didn't have any of that. I played Apex. Apex was the main game that actually launched the channel for a bit. And there was this girl named Minnie Morgan TV that was actually, she was a teammate. She was actually a complete random. Most people that sometimes when you see TV in their name, you think instantly, I'm like, oh, that person's trying to either get affiliate or they're trying to get noticed or whatever.
Right.
Little did I know, when she was doing 2 streams at the time, I was sitting there. It was her last game before apparently she had to get off, and she was partnered. So I'm sitting there. And she really liked my, my personality and the way I was playing with her. And she actually came and raided me with about 75 people coming in at one time.
That's awesome.
And it's kind of crazy because you're sitting there like 75 people, and you're like, that's a fuck ton. I mean, it's small,
that is
but it's
a lot.
A fuck ton in some terms. I mean, you're averaging 3 or 4 a day,
Yeah, that's awesome considering that.
So it kicked off after that, man, and then I ended up having some stuff unfortunately happen with the PC that I had, and then I had some family stuff, and I had to halt the stream, and that kind of slowed everything down for a bit.
It happens.
But man, it happens, and there's nothing you can do to control it. It's life. But
yeah.
The day I got back into streaming again afterwards, man, the viewership, everybody just coming in like, what the hell, you're streaming again? I'm like, yeah, I'm
you're back, yeah.
I had like 10, 15 people come in and just sit there and just chat with me and just talk, and I'm like,
yeah.
It was doing good. I mean, I got my first paycheck through Twitch, which a lot of people can't say that they've gotten.
True.
So, I mean, I think they paid me about $100 from that. That was from probably about 10, 15 subs at the time that I had.
Right.
Which was a decent amount of money considering, affiliates don't,
Yeah, they're not. I mean, affiliate is a phenomenal spot to be in, but it's definitely something you get to grow off of because you're not making $1 million doing it.
It's something that is a little bit harder than what it was now, because back when I kind of wanted to when I started, it wasn't like you had. To me, streaming in the past year or two has peaked to the all-time high that it ever has. And when I started, it wasn't as hard to get to affiliate as most people are having trouble now.
Yeah.
Because the sub button is really, really special to some people, and it's special to me. And I don't plan on ever losing it. And everybody's like, why don't you just go to Mixer? And I'm like, I don't want to go to Mixer because, for one, I'll be streaming basically for free at this point because you don't get a sub button over there until you're partnered completely.
Yeah.
You have to average about 75 to about 100 people to even get a sub button to begin with. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, that's not the right move, because majority of the audience that's going to come and watch you is actually going to be on Twitch. It's not going to be on Mixer. It's not going to be YouTube. That's a different story, because YouTube has been around a whole lot longer. But most people go there for just content videos. They don't really go there to watch people stream. I get it if it's like Markiplier or, PewDiePie don't even stream on there anymore.
Yeah.
They don't really, but it took off, and I was really, really surprised by it. And I'm like, I wonder if I could ever get to being a full-time streamer. And I actually had a family member, believe it or not, really, 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 really close to me. It lives in the same household as me. Told me one day we were doing some comparison things, and I posted a meme on Facebook, and it showed something with it said, porn stars and stuff, FYI, was like their parents are disappointed in them because they do what they do, just doing that stuff on the screen. Their parents are just as disappointed in their children or their sons, daughters, anything, when they say, I want to become a full-time streamer, I want to play video games for a living.
And see, I completely agree with you on that comment.
So I was fueled up. He was just like, I started pulling out numbers. I'm like, do you really not think that full-time streamers cannot make a lot of money? And he's like, no, I don't. I'm like, look at Ninja.
Well,
Sponsored by Adidas.
Yeah, Ninja's making killer money too.
$10 million to switch over from Twitch to Mixer.
Yeah, and Smart Man did it.
He did. And Dr. Disrespect, the biggest dude on Twitch, which is also, if nobody noticed, just by anything on Facebook, it's even my profile picture on Discord.
Yeah, I see that. See, that's one of my questions too, but I really probably shouldn't ask that now, should I?
Yeah, I mean, feel free. He just gives an energy that no other streamer gives.
I'll definitely have to check him out because I have not. So
he is something. A lot of people's like, oh, he cheated on his wife. I'm like,
that has nothing to do with gaming though. Like,
yeah, it has nothing to do with it. I mean, the dude's had his house shot at on stream, where he actually had to straight up take off his wig or his bulletproof mullet, as what he calls it.
Right.
He had to take that off. He took his glasses off. Everybody knew what he looked like after that. Nobody really had a general idea of what Dr. Disrespect would look like after that. And, people were shooting at his house, everything that happened after that. And then he just kicked off PUBG days. Absolutely. He was the one that actually, to me, in my opinion, when you think of streaming, you think of Dr. Disrespect. You only think of Ninja because of Fortnite.
True.
But when you think of Dr. Disrespect, you think of Twitch, because he was the face of it when it started. He was the big one. It only took him, I think he said he partnered in 1 year, because he was doing everything else that everybody else was doing different. Now he's averaging, 20, 30. It's up in the numbers now, due to the coronavirus. Everybody's all quarantined.
Everybody's home,
in the house, and he's averaging like 43,000 people on COD Warzone.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's just getting the money left and right. And I told people from the beginning, Twitch streamers, very underrated people. Like, a lot of people find them as inspirations.
Yeah,
they're just
definitely
as big as athletes. And,
very true.
I mean, look how many people was disappointed when Kobe died, which that was rough for me, because I grew up playing basketball and doing all that other stuff, and Kobe was something that was really, everybody's like, oh, he's just a celebrity. I'm like, well, to many basketball players, he was like, that's who you wanted to be when you grew up, just like people want to be Michael Jordan.
Yeah, sure.
So, I mean, streamers do the same thing. They find a streamer that they like, and they were just like, I want to match that same energy Doc has.
Right.
Whatever. They just want to do it.
Well, I'm definitely gonna skip what gave you the push to start streaming, because you answered that one. You also answered what specific streamer you look up to, which I knew, but you definitely expanded.
Hell, it's even my mouse pad.
That's pretty fucking cool. What is your most memorable moment that you've had on stream?
Oh shit. Oh, there's actually a couple.
Well, give me your top two.
My top two.
Yeah, your top two. Because I understand there's been a few for even me. I've not partnered or anything. I'm not affiliate at all, but I've still had my fair share of just phenomenal moments on my streams.
So, there was a time a small bit where I streamed Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at that game at all.
Oh, I suck at it.
I can shoot, I can aim, I can't build, which was my weak point. I can aim like any other person in that game, just right on. But there was one, it was like right when the new it was like season 3, I believe it. Well, no, it was probably, I can't remember which one. It brought the slipstreams in. It would be big fucking tubes that had the wind and everything in it where people would fly through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a sniper, and I'm like, you know what? Let's see what happens when we pull this. And it's somewhere in the clip. It's actually my most. It even had recognition by Ninja on Twitter. If you didn't know that,
I didn't.
That's a little fun fact for you now. I posted on Twitter. I'm like, your turn. So the kid or whatever was in a slipstream. He was going about maybe 50, 60 miles an hour inside of it, and I sniped. I actually got a headshot. It was in solos. Eliminated him. He was in midair, dead.
Nice.
1 shot, 1 kill. And
okay.
And then after that, all these other streamers was like, I wonder what happens if we can actually do this snipe of where this kid is in the slipstream, just kind of like flying in midair. And,
yeah.
And it took Ninja like a couple of days. I'm like, I got it in one. I got it one day, which was crazy to me. Because I didn't have a second monitor at the time, and I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, chat, look what I just fucking did. You know, I'm like, I was blown away by what I did by. I didn't know I could do something like that, and that was really fucking cool to me. Man, there's so many. I think there was one, I think on Apex, if I remember right, was the 15 kill game that I ended up getting on there. I was one of the first to 15 in the world to actually get to it around that time, which I'll tell you about the Apex related stuff and basically skill-based matchmaking. The way there's a reason why a lot of people, I'm not going to toot my own horn here, I'm going to try to do it without doing it, but
go ahead, you're fine.
Most people at the skill level that I have they do not have a fun time. Even the best people that I know that I play with, they do not have a fun time. They can't play Overwatch with me because I was top 500 in the world on Overwatch. I've even had it. Oh man, I faced top Twitch streamers on Apex when it comes to, you know, NRG Lulu. She's like the biggest. She's like top 100. I faced her. Who else have I faced? I've been in a game with Shroud. That is something you guys. If you guys watch Shroud, he's known as the human aimbot. And
really?
Yes, because he doesn't really miss, but he's all natural on the mouse. He used to be a pro CSGO player. And he's the one that moved over to Mixer after Ninja did.
Oh, okay.
And man, that kid will beam. You would think it'd be a hacker, and then you see Shroud's name, it's like, oh, it's Shroud. There's no really surprising that, you know, that's the issue you have.
Right.
Which I've had a couple times where, you know, it's just crazy on some of the stuff I see.
All right, so couple quick questions here. Yet again, feel free to expand as you feel. I'm going to go ahead and jump a question to this one because I don't know the answer to this one.
Mm-hmm.
Story or graphics? That's a hard question because so many people have different answers, but like, it's just two answers, but their explanation to it, I totally understand. Like, it doesn't matter what your answer is. Like, mine's story.
Mm-hmm.
I could give a shit if it's 8-bit. If you have a killer story, I'm interested. Okay? But then again,
graphics or whatever will kind of, they will get my appeal most
Very
of the
true.
time. They get my attention. Like when I seen Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I'm a big fanboy of Assassin's Creed to begin with.
Right.
And that's a story-based game. One of my favorites of all time. But when I see graphics, it like catches my attention. But I was like, I play a lot of story games too. Skyrim, for one, that game has terrible graphics, but holy shit, that has one of the best fucking stories that you ever could play in a video game. And it's hands down, it's one of them. Assassin's Creed with Ezio and Altair. They didn't have fantastic graphics back then for that game. They look stupid, but the story behind them's good. I mean, even with the new Doom Eternal, damn, the graphics are nice, but like the story for it's like, this guy's just mad for no reason. He's just going around just killing shit, you know? And it's just, I'm a big story guy.
Right.
I love The Witcher 3. I mean, the graphics on that game was kind of insane.
Yes.
I mean, that's not really a comparison for it, but story-wise, man, holy shit.
See, like, and I've never played a Witcher game. I've watched them, and yeah, that game caught my eye, and I've never even played the other two.
Oh man, that's how it was with me. I played The Witcher 3, and I was watching somebody. It was actually at E3 when I watched it, and I was seeing all the Geralt gameplay, and I'm like, this dude's like a fucking badass.
Oh yeah.
I've never heard of The Witcher before until this, because Witcher was always like a PC thing. It wasn't really big on console at all. So which is why I probably never heard of it. And then I seen it of him like taking out this big fucking griffin and then this big antler thing. I forgot. It's like a shin. I forgot what the name of it was.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I seen him fuck that thing up. I'm like, man, this game's actually gonna be pretty damn good. And I was like, I went into depth on it. It's like Witcher's. Yeah, I learned so much from it, and I even love the Netflix series. I've watched it about 15, 20 times already because
I gotta sit down and watch
just one
it.
of my favorites. Yeah,
sit
man.
down and watch it. All right, so top two. I don't know what's coming out in the next year or two, but what game or games do you plan on playing either on stream or in your free time?
Oh man, on stream. Let me think.
On
of some
stream.
games on stream. I mean, I do play a lot of offline right now.
I mean, you can't stream 24/7. I mean,
nah. You got to do it the way you can keep your numbers and everything kind of stable. I mean, if you're starting to get it to where you're getting about 2 people within the hour or two, cut that thing off. If you're averaging about 5-6 people, because it's just going to drain it. But on stream, Cyberpunk 2077 is the one that I look forward to.
So many people too. You and so many people.
That's going to be oversaturated as hell.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that one's going to be hard to get viewership on, but let me tell you, if you enjoy it, who gives a shit?
Exactly. You know? I mean, that's what I've always heard, and that's what a lot of my favorite streamers have told me. You know, just play whatever you want to play.
Yep. Because if you're not playing something that you're not enjoying, you're not going to be entertaining. And if you're not entertaining, your viewers ain't going to sit there and watch you.
Nobody's going to want to watch you.
It's just you know, that's why people just don't play games that they don't enjoy. Like me, I love Doom Eternal, but I wouldn't play it on stream. Why? Because Doom is not one of those games people kind of want to sit there and watch. It's one of those games they have to play it themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
In order to, you know, get a gist of what it's like.
All right, so my final question for you, and we can expand on this as we feel. Obviously, you're a PC guy now, which I'm so happy for you. But if you know, you're on Twitter and everything, what Sony and Microsoft have released on their next gen consoles, which one would you choose and why?
Xbox. And I will tell you, yep. Even though, I mean, it's Windows related, I mean, the games are going to come out to my computer regardless. So I don't really necessarily would have to buy one, because everything that they've already... I'm going to go ahead and be this PC dickhead. Everything the new Xbox has is what we've had on PC for the past 3 to fucking 10, 12 years.
I know.
So, you know, SSD... I mean, it's true.
It is very true. It's
you got
very
the
true.
SSD that's... They're like, oh, load times and everything's going to be so much faster. I've had that in my computer for the past 3 years that I've built, that I've had this thing. I don't know what's so special about that.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we get 120 FPS or whatever playing, you know, fucking Call of Duty on you know, 1080p settings. I'm like, dude, I average 180 on high on Call of Duty Modern Warfare. You guys still can't even, you know, do whatever with it. But if I was to come to it, it would definitely be an Xbox, but PlayStation, man. Last of Us, the new one that's coming out. I would buy another PlayStation just for God of War 2 or the next Spider-Man game.
I agree.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Like, I would put my fucking money down there, and I'm just like, give me God of War, give me Spider-Man, because those two, That was the only reason I bought the PlayStation 4 to begin with.
See, and my brother was the same way. He literally only bought his PS4 for Spider-Man. That was it.
Yep.
That was it.
That's exactly what I did. And I bought Red Dead 2. I beat it, and I actually let you borrow it. And
I still have it.
Which is fine because you can keep it because I do not have a PlayStation 4 anymore. So
I think I still have it anyway.
You got a free Red Dead 2 copy out of that.
That's fun.
It is a very fun game.
The boys want me to re-download it, so
you should. I need to buy it on PC. I still haven't got around to it.
But that was it for my questions, dude.
Right.
I really appreciate it, man. Thank you for expanding on it. Thank you for just hanging out with me for a half an hour and bullshitting with me, catching up for sure. We haven't spoken in a long time besides the other day when you came and saw me at work, but that was kind of a quick in and out. But yeah, thanks for checking. Thanks for coming in and chatting with me for a little bit.
Oh, no problem, man. I'm glad to do it anytime.
I know everybody's got busy schedules, but go check this man out on Twitch. I'm going to leave all his shit below. Feel free to go check him out, his crew as well. I know you got all them underneath your stream, right?
I believe I do, yeah. I'll be able, if I don't, I can add them underneath the comment section or whatever that you had underneath there. I'll just put them there.
They're all phenomenal people, every single one of them, so feel free to go check them out. Make sure to check him out, leave him a like, follow, all that fun shit. I don't even know how Twitch works anymore. It's been so long since I've streamed.
Basically go live and then just have a good status like mine says. Just say, if you love tacos, just get your ass in here and just be done with it.
Yeah, like I haven't streamed in so long, but thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate it. Good luck on on all your future shit, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
And I will chat with you later.
Later, but